This is TWiT.
The Home Assistant wars are heating up, especially now that the major players are opening up the platforms for third-party hardware makers to get involved. Google recently did this with its own Assistant API, meaning that third-party Google Home alikes are starting to roll in. Competition means more choice, and that's a great thing. So let's compare the new Google Home Mini to Anker's newly released Zolo Mojo. Though they're similar in many ways, they have a few key differences. First, the Google Home Mini, which might be immediately appealing considering it comes from Google itself. It's a small, tight package surrounding cloth that makes it blend into the room just a little bit more than the other one. The shallow hockey puck design means that there's less room inside for a booming speaker, and that is instantly noticeable when playing certain types of music through the device.
Now I'm not trying to be rude, but hey, pretty girl, I'm feeling you.
The sound seems to compress a little bit at loud volumes, especially when you're playing bass-heavy music. Not very ideal. The far-field microphones are incredibly capable, though. I was able to fire off commands to the Mini that's installed in my downstairs kitchen from upstairs in my bedroom with minimal yelling. Even I was impressed by that. Volume adjustments on the device are easy. You just tap on the left or the right side of the puck, though tap to fire, which used to be a feature when you tapped on top of the device, has been permanently disabled due to some manufacturing issues that resulted in phantom taps in the pre-release phase. And you can mute the microphone with the button here, and you know it's muted thanks to the bar of orange LEDs on top. Finally, you can connect to the Google Home Mini via Bluetooth, and it becomes an easy speaker in any room. And then we have Anker's new Zolo Mojo device, with a small form factor that makes it easy to compare against the Google Home Mini. By comparison, though, the Mojo has much more of a traditional technology design to it. It's a bit taller and encased in black plastic, and that means it's going to stand out just a little bit more depending on the shelf or the room that you plug it into. Because the Mojo is taller, though, it makes room for a bass port inside the design that actually does improve the quality of sound when compared to the Google Home Mini. Now you turn the Mojo up all the way and your music's still going to sound pretty darn pristine considering, and you get an extra hint of low end to boot. But again, the design is rather small, so don't expect rich, luxurious sound from the Mojo in the end. The onboard far-field microphones for voice commands are fine if you happen to be in the room with the Mojo. I'd say less ideal if you're outside of the room, at least from my experience. And the top of the Mojo is actually a touchpad, which means you have to swipe right to turn the volume up, swipe left to turn that volume down. And this action I did find to be a little iffy at times. Sometimes it didn't quite register fast enough to make the required changes. But tap to fire on the top does work with the Mojo, in fact, and it'll pause your music if it happens to be playing. That's a feature that I use all the time. This button mutes the mic, and again, you'll see some red LEDs on top to let you know that it's safely muted. And yes, Bluetooth capabilities baked in that make this a Bluetooth speaker as well. Both devices work identically with all the fancy features that Google's Assistant affords. It can be synced up with other home devices for multi-room audio. And both devices are going to run you around $50, so it's really a question of your priorities. If music is your priority, I'd give the edge to the Zolo Mojo, but I much prefer the look of the Google Home Mini. Both are incredibly and almost equally capable, though, so you really can't go wrong. I'm Jason Howell, and you can catch me on All About Android and Tech News Weekly and all over the TWiT network at twit.tv.